Hello UGC net aspirants. If your subject is commerce, this question that will be a surprising one for you because this appeared for the last time. I mean the December 2020 and the June 2021 cycle shift 2. This question appeared. And see the question, the theory which explains the effect of devaluation on balance of trade. And the options are like Phillips curve, Mundell-Tobin hypothesis, J-curve, and the Kerr-curve theory. Okay, so as far as the commerce students are being concerned, they know that actually as far as the first syllabus module is being concerned, I mean the unit number 1, international business. There you have a lot of syllabus portions like there is international trade theories, but the theory is not mentioned there directly. The answer is J-curve, but you can't find in your syllabus a J-curve theory. They mentioned NTA. But how this question came and what's the syllabus area of this question? Okay, cool. The syllabus portion is exactly, that the exchange rate system is there. We have different exchange rate systems like fixed exchange, flexible exchange, and managed flexibility. You all know that. And the devaluation is one of the major features of what? Fixed exchange rate system. So that's the first syllabus portion. Fixed exchange rate and the devaluation. And second one was the theories of international trade. And this question is a blend of both of the syllabus portion. They might have not directly mentioned about the J-curve or the Marshall condition in the syllabus, but this question appeared last time. You know that economics students are pretty similar with syllabus portion. I mean J-curve and then the Marshall condition, but not the commerce students. And I would like to remind you, the pattern has been changed drastically after the introduction of NTA. Especially recently, they have been asking indirect questions, not the direct questions. Here the exchange rate, fixed and devaluation. And trade theories like mercantilism, absolute advantage, comparative and Echo theorem, all but you are not familiar about the Marshall condition or the J-curve effect. So the question is a blend of devaluation, that's the feature of fixed exchange rate system, and the international trade theory which discuss devaluation and its effect on balance of trade. Then anyway, let us directly go to the theory and we will come back and solve this question. Okay, so the theory is what? Nothing other than Marshall condition. So theory is so simple and so direct. Say so. Devaluation will be successful and devaluation will improve the trade balance if the export plus import elastic coefficient is greater than 1. That's the point. What's it? The devaluation will improve the balance of trade if the export plus import elastic coefficient is greater than 1. And named after the economist Marshall and then the Lerner, and that's why the name Marshall-Lerner condition. So, you know the meaning of devaluation. Okay, you know the meaning of devaluation. What's the meaning of devaluation? A reduction in the power value of the domestic currency against the hard currency, which is done deliberately, especially in the fixed exchange rate system. Okay, deliberate action taken by the authority to reduce the exchange rate between the domestic currency and then the hard currency. Say for an example, then the exchange rate was 1 US dollar is equal to 50 Indian rupee, and now it is 1 US dollar is equal to 60 Indian rupee. That's the devaluation. Reduction in the value from the 50 to 60. I mean in terms of value, not in terms of absolute number. Okay, so yesterday, if you pay 50 Indian rupee, you will get 1 US dollar, or the goods and services equivalent of 1 US dollar. But now you have to pay 10 rupees additional, 60 Indian rupee for getting 1 US dollar or goods and services equivalent of 1 US dollar. This is devaluation, a reduction in the power value of the domestic currency against the hard currency. Say for an example, 1 is to 50, then and now it is 1 is to 60. So for your basics, not the point. The devaluation will always make the domestic economy cheaper and the foreign economy costlier. And another basics, please note the law of demand. What's the law of demand? The price and quantity demand is inversely related. That's the second basics you have to note there. And the third one, what's elasticity coefficient? Here it is greater than 1. Okay, let us blend all these. What is happening there? You are devaluating your currency, which means the domestic economy is getting cheaper and the foreign economy is costlier. So, what is happening? What's the law of demand there? The domestic economy price is getting down and the foreign economy price is going up. And that's the impact of the devaluation. Then what will happen? The domestic economy is cheaper, so the export will increase. The foreign economy is costlier, so the import will come down actually. And the elastic coefficient is greater than 1 here. So the change that will be absolutely more than proportionate. So the condition is that here the export plus import elastic coefficient is greater than 1. And you are devaluating your currency. And the domestic economy is getting cheaper and the foreign economy is getting costlier. So your export revenue is increasing more than proportionally. And then your import expenditure is getting down more than proportionally. Eventually, these two will improve your balance of trade. That's the Marshall-Lerner condition. Okay, the export plus import elasticity coefficient, that should be greater than 1. Okay, to be precise, 3 points are there. If the export plus import elasticity coefficient is greater than 1, that will improve the balance of payments. If the export plus import elasticity coefficient is less than 1, that will worsen the balance of payment or the balance of trade. And what's the third point? If the export plus import elasticity coefficient is equal to 1, that will not make nothing impact. That will not make any kind of impact on the balance of payment. That should be a constant situation. So this is the theory. Export plus import elasticity greater than 1, the balance of trade will improve. Less than 1, that will worsen the situation. Equal to 1, the constant is the situation. This is the theory. Okay, this is the theory. Okay, and then what's the J-curve effect? The many of the economists, so there is a common consensus among the economists that this theory is absolutely fine and right. I mean, if the devaluation, if you are coming up with the devaluation and the export plus import elastic coefficient is greater than 1, absolutely that will improve your balance of trade. But one condition is there. Empirically studied this data and the study result was something like that. Yes, this will improve the balance of trade, but only in the long run. Only in the long run. You know, so what is happening there actually? Domestic economy is cheaper. Okay, so the foreign buyer should respond to the reduction in the price, as well as the domestic producer should also respond to the buoyant demand in the economy. And what about the foreign economy? That's costlier. The domestic buyer should reduce his purchase. He have to respond. And then the foreign producer as well should adjust with supply with the change in demand. So, whenever there is change in terms of price, which may take time from the producers as well as the consumers' point to respond to the same. So, devaluation will be successful if the export plus import elastic coefficient is greater than 1, but only in the long run. That was the empirical study result of Marsh-Lerner condition. And most importantly and interestingly, you see this graph actually, we are starting from here, right over here, D, and we are devaluating. So as per the theory, that would increase the balance of trade. But look, you are here, okay, right over here D, you are here and you are devaluating. And what is happening there? The situation is again getting worse. But gradually what is happening? Here it is the worst situation. Then gradually it's recovering. Okay, so deficit is coming down, 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 and then here it is in equilibrium, and then gradually we are moving towards the surplus. So, devaluation will be successful in the long run only because the producers and the consumers need to take time to respond to the price change. So, if you trace the change in terms of a curve, that will show a shape of J curve effect, that it is. Okay, so you are facing balance of payment deficit or balance of trade deficit and you are devaluating. The elastic coefficient is favorable, that's greater than 1, but still initially that will worsen your situation. Then in the long run, when you are reaching time period from the T to T1, that's gradually getting improved. And then when you are moving from T1 to T2 and then it's showing an upward slope, which means if you trace the shape, that will be exactly a J curve. That's the J curve effect. Okay, you see this actually. So what's the theory says? The Marsh-Lerner condition says that if the export plus import elastic coefficient is greater than 1, that would improve the balance of trade. But what the empirical study result proved? Yes, absolutely that will improve the balance of trade, but only in the long run. Initially in the short run, that would worsen the situation further and then gradually it will pick up. That's the condition. So now you know what is the meaning of Marsh-Lerner condition and what's the shape of this curve. That's absolutely J. And now you answer this question. Pretty direct now it seems like. The theory which explains the effect of devaluation on balance of trade is known as Marsh-Lerner condition is not among the option, but its empirical study result is among the option. So the answer is C, J curve. And what about the option 1, Phillips curve, dealing with trade, the so-called relationship between or the trade-off between inflation and unemployment. Montel-Tobin model is all about the balance of payment ISLM framework. And the K curve is something related to growth pattern. Okay, during the COVID pandemic time, you might have heard about the V curve recovery. Okay, we had high growth rate, then immediately negative growth rate. Okay, during the pandemic, and then recovered immediately V shape, and then W shape. When the V shape repeating, that's W. And then K is also something kind of growth pattern. Okay, if you trace the different growth pattern in the different sectors of the economy, that might trace the shape of K actually. So that's the meaning of the K curve. So here the answer is J curve, but the direct option is Marsh-Lerner condition. So see, everything is indirect here. Question appeared indirectly, the blend of fixed exchange rate system, devaluation and the international trade theory. That's the blend. Directly, there is no J curve effect or the Marsh-Lerner condition in our syllabus. Am I right? And again, the direct scenario is something, indirect scenario is something like that. In the option, as per the question, the theory which explains the effect of devaluation, that would have been the option directly Marsh-Lerner condition. That's also not in the option. The option also, it's empirical study results. It's all about, so indirect. So this is the recent trend, recent pattern followed by NTA. So commerce students, just be focused. Just trace the new pattern and prepare as per the changes. Keep learning. I will come up with more topic, more discussion. See you later. Bye-bye.